Good.
And a big welcome back to the 2018 NWAC Volleyball Championships. Hello, everybody. I'm Wes Tucker. I'm going to be joined by Kathy Wood in just a little bit. But we've got a good semifinal matchup. Two number 1 seeds, one from Spokane, the other, the host school, the Pierce College Raiders. So a good one on the books, but let's throw it down to our public service announcer as he introduces today's contesting teams.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the last winners bracket game of the 2018 tournament, featuring the West Division champion Pierce Raiders and the East Regional champ Spokane Sasquatch. For the Raiders, number 1, Quincy Seitz. Number 2, Hattie Smith. Number 3, Haley Williams. Number 4, Haley York. Number 5, Abby Van Barter. Number 7, Sydney Miller. Number 8, Sydney Goodall. Number 10, Riley Burdick. Number 13, Jocelyn Hilliard. Number 14, Peyton Foster. Number 17, Carly Rittell. Number 22, Carly Lewis. Head coach of the Raiders is Greg Fennell. His assistants are Tammy Medlock, and the athletic trainer is Dana Dupree. For the home East Regional champions, Spokane Sasquatch. Number 2, Joel Mahol. Number 3, Riley Sikora. Number 5, Brooklyn Riley. Number 7, Jordan Shaw. Number 8, Alicia Straw. Number 11, Taylor Gould. Number 12, Amanda Gallagher. Number 13, Allison Russell. Number 14, Jeffrey Sudd. Number 15, Hannah Russell. Number 16, Lindsay Russell. Number 17, Gabby Edwards. And number 20, Mahela Edwards. The head coach is Jenny Hall. Jenny is assisted by Kathleen Mattia, Lizzie Ridley, and Carmen Richardson. The officials for the game on court 1. Referee 1, Alicia Provost. Referee 2, Robin Bach. Line judge 1, Sydney Spray, and line judge 2, Mark Cullen. Without further ado, ladies, let's get to it.
And a big welcome back here on Court 1. Wes Tucker here keeping you company along with Kathy Woods. Kathy, how are you doing?
I'm so glad to be back, Wes. This is so exciting. We've been here for 3 days straight. And this is what everybody guessed, Pierce and Spokane. So I'm really excited to get this game started.
All right, so again, a couple of big powerhouses here. Number 1 seeds going at it. And again, 2 very, very successful coaches as well. Let's start with the host school again, Greg Fennell. What can we expect to see from his Raiders today?
Well, Greg has worked really hard the last few years just to establish a team of girls that he chose, and I spoke with him yesterday, and he's really happy with his team. They're playing together, he loves them, and he's really excited about the possibilities of being an NWAC championship.
And now let's switch and take a look at the coach for Spokane, Jenny Hull.
Jenny, I've known Jenny for a long time, and she was a great athlete and played for Spokane, and Jenny just really recruited some spectacular players this year, and they're undefeated. And she, again, is just very pleased, very happy, and they are definitely the favorite for this match and this championship.
So as we get our scoreboard ready to go here, again, best of 5 here, the last A bracket matchup before the championship. The Liberos have checked in, and now we're just awaiting the okay from the officials. And back to serve first is going to be Kenzie Seitz, sophomore libero for the Raiders, as first serve of the game up and over, waiting for it. The opposite side, big outside swing coming in from Straw. And Pierce is going to come away with the first point. So interesting situation on the Spokane roster this year. There's not only a set of sisters, but a set of triplets as well as a set of twins on this roster. So how often does something like that occur?
Yeah, I've never seen that before. And again, that's a really smart move on Jenny to recruit. It's great for team chemistry. It's like getting 5 players for 2. So it's really a smart move on Jenny's part. And not only just that they're triplets and twins, but excellent players as well. One of the triplets is probably arguably one of the best setters in the NWAC.
As ball still up on the outside, here comes Jocelyn. And Jocelyn not able to put it back down. Waiting for it is side set by Smith. Here comes Burdick with the kill. So some good power shown early by Pierce. So are we looking at a potential another teeter-totter back and forth matchup here for set 1?
Almost definitely. Both teams play very aggressively.
And Spokane proven that they were human after all yesterday, losing their first set of the tournament to the Highline Thunderbirds. So you think that gives more momentum to the host school Pierce Raiders?
Well, they can look at it both ways. You know, Spokane, they can either be a little bit shaky or sometimes that just makes you give you that much more motivation to start strong.
As a communication error there between Burdick and Hillier is going to result in a point for the Spokane Sasquatch. Heading back to serve now, Alicia Straw, the sophomore outside hitter out of Verdale, Washington. Serve is up, and waiting for it now is Smith. Set up, here comes Hillier, and that was going to clear the net again. Sights. And put over and right on the edge. A good point collected.
Okay, early you can see some strategy from Pierce. They're liking to go down that line. And you're going to be seeing this going back and forth, because these teams have not played each other yet this year. So this first set's going to be a lot of adjustments and finding holes in each other's defense.
Now arguably one of the most consistent servers in the tournament this year, Lewis, and then Hillier up front with the block, 5-2 in favor of the Raiders. Meanwhile, over on court 1, a 15-5 score in favor of Highline over Edmonds. They started a few minutes before we did over here on court 1 as Gallagher is waiting for it, and Hillier again up front, and they're really having problems getting the ball past Jocelyn Hillier. And here comes Foster. Gallagher able to get to it again, then put up by Lindsey Russell, and down off the touch of Sights. Well, I tell you, when you say the last name Russell here on the broadcast, there's a 1 in 3 chance that you'll be talking about any one of them. We got Allison Russell wearing 13, McKenna Russell wearing 15, and Lindsey Russell wearing 16.
That makes your job a little bit easier, Wes.
Oh, a little bit, yeah. Of course, there's always going to be somebody calling in saying, oh, Russell made the kill. Well, which Russell was it exactly? And then I have to look down and take another look at my scorecard down here. But now back to serve for the Spokane Sasquatch, Joelle Mowald. Then a Spokane native and a little service error there, and Hillier to serve now for Pierce. So I'm sure you know this. So how big is a game? You have not been able to see this opponent all regular season, and your first match against him is in the semifinals of the tournament. I'm sure you've had experience with similar situations. So what's the mindset going in?
Well, like I say, you just need to not panic at all in the first set. Again, you're just trying to feel them out, stay aggressive, stay confident. I'm sure both teams have seen a lot of video, have really done their research. So it's not like they're going in blind, but it's different than being on the court with them. So they're just feeling each other out right now and seeing what they can do. Like, for example, the dump. How well are they going to be able to get that dump up? Which was excellent.
And just out of bounds. And another point goes to the Raiders, 9-4. The score here in the early goings in a B bracket matchup going on court number 2. And that's a best of 3. But here in the A bracket, best of 5. The first 4 sets consisting of 25 points, and the 5th, if necessary, consisting of 15, as that's out of bounds off of the touch of McKenna Russell. Another point for the Raiders as they seem to have found a groove here early in the first set, and that's going to force a timeout to be taken by Jenny Hull.
Yeah, and I think it's important here not to panic. Like I said, it's the first, and that's a good timeout by Coach Jenny. She knows that she needs to settle down her team, tell them to take a big breath, and just settle down and realize this is just the beginning of a long war today.
All right, so we will step away, but more NWAC volleyball after a brief word from our sponsor.
I chose Centralia College because I really felt like school, academic-wise and soccer-wise, it would be a good fit for me. And then I come here and I play, and it's like the competition is crazy, and I don't think the label of community college means anything to the skill that people have. My name is Gabby, and I play soccer at Centralia College, and I go boldly. I chose Centralia College because I really felt like school, academic-wise and soccer-wise, it would be a good fit for me. And then I come here and I play, and it's like the competition is crazy, and I don't think the label of community college means anything to the skill that people have. My name is Gabby, and I play soccer at Centralia College, and I go boldly.
So we welcome you back to the action. First point after the timeout is going to be awarded to the Raiders. So a attempt at shifting momentum. Instead, the Raiders come back with that point. Hillier on the serve, and now set up on the outside. Good opportunity here for Rayner. And here comes Peyton Foster waiting for it. It's going to be Lewis, and here's Hillier once more. Gallagher on the dig, set up. And a good attempt there by Hattie Smith to try to keep it up, but not quite good enough. The 11-5 the margin. Again, Wes Tucker and Kathy Woods here on court number 1, keeping you company through the semifinal matchup between the Spokane Sasquatch and the Pierce College Raiders. As the serve is up and over, Hattie Smith on the set, and nicely taken care of up front by York, and that point will also go to the Sasquatch.
Well, you can see just how effective those timeouts are. You know, after that timeout, coming back strong. Again, they're very aggressive, adjusted their defense, covering that line really well, and strong at the net, the block. So that's an excellent timeout from Jenny.
And here's a good one on the outside. You can credit that one to Katie York. Just absolutely picking apart the defense, finding that one hole between Gallagher and Sugg.
They really going to have to make some adjustments, and either they can do it defensively in the back row or in the front row, moving the block out or bring that defense up.
As the hit there from the side by Sugg is going to go out of bounds off the touch of Peyton Foster. It's going to be another point for Spokane, and back to serve is Jordan Schaff, the freshman outside hitter, another Spokane native on the team. And here's Peyton Foster once more.
Whoa, they're really picking apart that back corner there. I think that's like 5 points right to that same spot. Got to adjust that.
Well,
Let's see what they do.
They seem to have found a little bit of a weak spot out there, as Schaff just hasn't been able to come up with anything hit hard her way in the back right corner, as that one is going to be hit out of bounds by Hillier.
I just love it when, you know, one team has a kill and the other one comes back and is unaffected by that. Saying coming back stronger. Sign of a great team's right there.
And now McKenna Russell on the serve. Foster waits for it. Set up by Smith, and here is York waiting for it again now. Burdick. And they go to York again. Will set backwards and trying to pick the corner, and off the touch of Seitz, Spokane picks up another point.
Heads up play from the setter. She saw that things were congested right there at the net. She had the opportunity, found the hole, got the point.
So Russell again on the serve, waiting for it is Williams, and now they try Burdick on the right side, and off the touch. This time of Lindsey Russell. I wanted to say Russell, but I kind of want to give a little more specifics to the folks watching at home. So 14-9. The score here in set 1 as Seitz is back to serve again. Waiting for it up front is Russell to go outside. And another point to Pierce. It looks like it was indeed touched twice up front by Alicia Straw. And again, I was trying some setting drills between games And I got to tell you, it's a lot harder than it looks when you go down there. I found myself touching the ball twice quite a bit out there, just trying to keep that thing straight.
Well, things will settle down right now for that setter. You know, when she's front row setter, she's not only thinking about who her options are on offense, but when they're attacking her on defense as well, she has to put up that good block, then turn around and switch her role right away. So now she's coming out of the back row. She can focus just mainly on her setting and not blocking, so that should help.
They go outside for Burdick, and a good touch there up front by Straw, and that one credited to Riley Seclair. And Colbert, Washington native, went to Mount Spokane High School. Get a relatively local recruiting job done by Jenny Hull. A couple Spokane natives on there, and very close, as the boundary marker will not be cleared by the Raiders. And back to serve now again is going to be Lindsay Russell. And the freshman, another Spokane native, as Hillier collects a point off the block of Seclair. Meanwhile, a 1-0 lead, and it looks like it is the Thunderbirds who have the advantage. 1-0 nil over on court 2. And outside they try again. Seitz not able to get to it, so you can credit that one to Alicia Straw.
Sending a little bit of their own medicine, hitting the same spot that Spokane has got burned on a little bit. So coming back and giving it right back to Pierce.
And
feel a little bit of momentum swing going on here, Wes.
A little bit. As it looks like Foster just saved a service error. Here's Hillier again up front. Has to take it when it comes back down. They go to Burdick on the left, and do they get the touch? No, they do not. Point is going to go to the Sasquatch. So 16-13. Again, Pierce at one point had themselves a 6-point lead, but little by little, the Spokane Sasquatch been chipping away. And here's a service error from Straw.
That's one thing you don't like to see when you start building momentum, and you got to get that first serve over in your rotation. Very, very important. So I'm sure Jenny's a little bit upset about that.
Well, arguably the two biggest momentum killers in volleyball, of course, the opponent timeout and then the service error.
Exactly. Good job, Wes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've learned a little bit. And back over it goes, set by Smith. Here comes Hillier, and down off the block up front.
And don't forget the block.
Oh, that too, absolutely.
that's a deflator right there.
Oh, for sure. And nobody's been better at deflating the opposing offense than Jocelyn Hillier. She has done a masterful job up front. Big reason why Pierce is still over here in the A bracket.
I think we had a net violation right there.
Oh. So that brings our score now 18-14 as the serve from Lewis is handled well in the back, set by Russell. They go outside to Straw. So 18-15. I know the last game over here on court 1 had a rather controversial finish with what could have been a touch. Actually cost Chemeketa their tournament life over here. Yeah. A lot of people saw a touch, including Spencer Rowland, who's sitting up there at the scorer's table.
Yeah.
There's a
nice stick. So as you can see, Spokane has covered that hole. They've come up a little bit on defense. Easy dig up, and they retain the point. Good job.
So service up and over, Seitz waiting for it. Smith on the set outside, and look at that. A little get-me-over approach, that time from Sydney Goodall.
Very smart play on Pierce. You know, they've been banging, all of a sudden they chip it up a little bit. Very important to change that momentum and that tempo.
And Hillier with the serve. Russell able to pass it up front. They go outside, and another block up front. You can credit this one to York. 20-16 in favor of the Raiders, and that's going to force Coach Hull to take another timeout. So another timeout, and away we step, but don't you go anywhere. More NWAC volleyball when we return after a brief message from our sponsors.
I chose Centralia College because
And apologies as we come back. It appears we had some technical difficulties during the timeout. And now ready to go again is Hillier. The serve up, Gallagher. They go outside, and a good block up front again by York. And Mela put it down last time. And another set to the outside, and that one goes out of bounds. Do they get the touch? Yes, they do. So 20-16. The score here, 20-17. The score here in set number 1, and going back to serve is going to be Sugg, freshman out of Wenatchee. So the service is good. Burdick over to Smith. They go to Peyton Foster. Gallagher waits for it, and Foster again up front. Once more to Foster. Softer approach and dug out again. Russell not able to clear. That's going to be 4 touches on the side of Spokane. So 21-17 here in this first set of a best-of-5 matchup. And back to serve is going to be Haley Williams. Service up and over, set now by Russell. They go outside, and the other Russell collects the point. Lindsay right over the side to her sister McKenna. And that is absolutely destroyed. Nothing left of that ball but a vapor trail. And Jordan Shaw to do the serving. Sights, now Smith. They go Foster once more off the hand of Gallagher.
You know, I'm just so impressed with Pierce and how far they've become. Even when I saw them at the beginning of the year, I knew they were going to be a good team, but they've really improved. They've really worked hard, and they're solid all the way around, and they're just having a good time. It's just really good to see.
As Gallagher waits on the serve from Foster, and nicely done. Not as much power as we're used to seeing from Alicia Straw, but a good hit nonetheless, collecting the 19th point of the set for the Sasquatch. And serve over by Russell, set by Smith, and here comes York off the touch, collecting the point, 23-19.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Back and forth.
You know, and the shots they're taking are not easy shots. They're cuts inside the block, so they're aware of the block, cutting it inside, and those are just incredible.
And waiting for Williams. They go outside. Here comes Jocelyn Hillier, and there's a little awkward pass. Got to keep it in play, and they are able to do so. Williams on the receiving end again. And here comes Burdick up the block. Set point number 1 for the Raiders.
You know, it's really interesting, Wes. Volleyball used to be defense, back row defense for women. Now blocking is so much more important, and we can see that just in this first set alone. Best blocking team is going to win this set.
And Burdick will hit the boundary marker, but no call, and now they're going to say 4 touches on the side of Pierce. So you think that they should have called that after the boundary was
that's
hit.
a good call.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. When the replays come out and the YouTube comments come in, we'll call Kathy on it. But now back to serve is going to be Lindsay Russell. And set point number 2, 24-20, in favor of the Raiders here in set 1. Williams now set to the outside. Here comes Burdick, and a great block, and another point for Spokane. So how long before Greg Fennell utilizes that timeout?
You called it, Wes.
Oh,
Here
look
we
at that.
go. Good timing. I was just going to say it.
All right, so we have, again, another set point opportunity coming up. And we predicted sort of back and forth here in the first set. So let's get an early prediction of set 2 from you right now. What do you think is going to happen now that these teams have seen each other for about 50 points?
Well, I think they've already made some adjustments. I know that Spokane has adjusted their defense. They're getting those, they pulled the block out and they pulled their defense up. And Pierce isn't able to do that line shot as easily as they did before. But Pierce has other weapons. They can go outside, they can go in the middle. And I haven't seen too much from the back row yet. I think we might see some more back row attacks, but it's going to be another tight match for sure.
Who's been uncharacteristically quiet for Pierce has been Sydney Goodall, and the freshman out of Arlington, Washington. Another very powerful weapon that Pierce possesses, but just like we can equate this to pitching in baseball, you don't show your entire arsenal until you have to. So Goodall, still one of those weapons that they haven't thrown at the Spokane team just yet.
Yeah, they're still working on their ball control, getting up so they have more options on that. just still got the jitters. I can still see some jitters right there. So ball control will get better, and I think we'll see some more options offensively.
And timeout has concluded here on court number 1, and we're ready to get back and rolling. As Russell set to serve. Foster waits for it, set by Smith. Outside they go. Burdick way out of bounds, and a touch on the side of Spokane. So that means set number 1 belongs to the Pierce Raiders. So 25-21, the score here in the first set, a 1-0 lead for the host school Raiders. So any last points of this set before we go to commercial, Miss Woods?
Well, I think that's really important to see how Spokane's going to respond to that. They haven't lost very many sets all year long, but it is the championship, and I think we're going to see a new adjustments. That's all I can say. It's going to be a tight second set, but good for Pierce. They played so strong, so tough, and they show that they're here and they earn their way. They belong here. And
that is only the 11th set all year that has been lost by the Spokane Sasquatch. So away we step, but we'll be right back after this. And welcome back as the technical difficulties continue over here with our broadcast. So again, Wes Tucker here keeping you company along with Kathy Woods, and a good close game going on court 2 as well. The Edmonds Tritons taking on the Highline Thunderbirds. Got a chance to see Edmonds quite a bit over on court number 2. I saw Highline a couple of times as well, and I want to know what you saw, Kathy. Which of these two teams do you think is going to take this second set? And right now rested a 10-7 advantage in favor of the Tritons.
Well, you know, both of those teams, these top 4 teams that are here right now, certainly deserve to be here. And Edmonds is coming back from building, you know, Tony came back and he's building this program up, and he finally gets the girls that he wants, and they're playing very solid defense. Highline, you know, they have a tradition as well, and they're always a tough team to play because they're so scrappy. And so Highline, along with scrappy on ball control, and they have excellent setters. So that's an excellent match on court 2.
All right, so we're just about ready to resume play here on court number 1. And Pierce with a 1-0 lead. And going to start things off. It looks like Spokane will get things rolling as soon as we get ready to go. Libero's in the process of checking in. And we're going to have to go without the scoreboard for a brief moment. Again, some more technical difficulties here on our part. We apologize to everybody at home. And now we are ready to rock and roll once more. Again, court 1. And we got ourselves a 1-0 lead in favor of the host school, Pierce College Raiders. As ball is up, here's Hillier hitting it across. Waiting for it, Russell to go outside, and Foster unable to get a hand on it.
You know, that's the hardest hit to hit in volleyball, down the line. So many teams leave that open because there's always an open hole in volleyball. There's no way to play every part of that court. So you either give the middle of the court or you give those back corners. So because the line is so hard to hit, that's often the hole left for the offense to find.
Service up and over again. Hattie Smith on the set. They go to Burdick, and Burdick with a softer approach has to be just whacked back across. Here's Hillier, and Hillier. And a point for the Raiders. So 2-1. And Smith is going to go back and do the serving again. A semifinal matchup here in the A bracket. Final A bracket game before the championship as Russell sets outside, and beautifully played by Seitz. They go to Burdick on the left, and just off the block, another good point for Spokane. So both teams with a very accomplished up front line of defense. Again, of course, led by a couple of young ladies. Brooklyn Rayner of the Spokane Sasquatch. Meanwhile, on the other end, you've got Jocelyn Hillier, and those two have just been creating a lot of trouble for the outside hitters early in this matchup.
You know, I was talking to somebody earlier about why did so many volleyball players miss a serve? And true, it is the easiest skill in volleyball, but it's harder than what most people think. You're aiming for zones. You're aiming for the person that made the last mistake. You're aiming for the setter. And so there's a lot of strategy in serving, so that's going through the minds, and that's what sometimes causes errors in the serves. But with that said, a coach hates to see a player miss the first serve, and especially the first serve of the rotation.
That is definitely for sure. Again, the service errors were the bane of the existence of a couple of teams. One of them that isn't here with us anymore as Hillier collects a point off the block, and that was Lower Columbia College. They had 11 service errors in a single set over in yesterday's B bracket contests. And they actually lost their tournament life on a service error as well a little earlier today, and they lost that game to the Edmond Tritons, and the Tritons have beaten them twice now through this tournament. So going back to serve now for Spokane is going to be Sugg, the freshman out of Wenatchee, as the serve is up and over. Waiting for it is Lewis, set by Smith to the outside. Here comes Peyton Foster. And dug out well. They go outside again, and out of bounds it goes. Another point for the Raiders. 5-4, back and forth we go. I'll tell you, throughout this entire tournament, there's only been one thing that has stymied me, and it's how this giant Baden volleyball keeps manifesting at whatever court that I am broadcasting on.
Yesterday was on court 2, then also we pop up, there it is on court 1.
Well, it was on court 2 earlier today. I remember making a comment about it. I think it's starting to follow me around. I'll be laying in bed, then all of a sudden I'll wake up because I'm being chased by a giant Baden volleyball, Indiana Jones style, you know, one of those dreams.
It definitely has its presence, Wes, right there.
And now it's going to be Jordan Schaaf to do the serving, another Spokane native for the Spokane team. And Foster up on the outside. That one's going to be passed backwards, and another point for Pierce. And meanwhile, looks like we're nearing the crowning of a victor as the Highline Thunderbirds beginning to pull away a bit from Edmonds over on court 2. And service up and good. Set to the outside. Russell to Russell. So 7-5 the score. We got a good crowd on hand. The crowds usually get bigger as we get closer to the championship events here. And a lot of people just under the impression that, you know, volleyball isn't as much a spectator sport. There isn't as much energy that the crowd provides. Have you ever had an experience that can disprove that?
I can't, sorry. So much noise in here, I didn't hear that question.
Oh, sorry about that as the point goes down. Another point for Spokane. But again, volleyball has not been classified as a real spectator sport. Not a lot of energy provided by the crowd. But I know being around the game as long as you have, I know if anybody's got a point that can contradict that argument, it's you.
And I will contradict that because I think the crowd has a huge effect on the outcome and the energy that the girls get from the crowd. It's an exciting sport. I mean, you can hear them yelling right now. There's so much energy and there's so much, and so the more active the crowd is, I think the girls hear that and they respond to it.
All right, so timeout's going to be taken here by Pierce, so we're going to step away again, but don't you go anywhere. Be right back after this. So play resuming here in the first point after the timeout. It's going to be won by the Raiders. As we welcome back Kathy Woods. Kathy?
You know, Wes, I was thinking about that comment of the spectators and remembering back when I was coaching, and we had one really exciting match, and the crowd was all students right there next to the court. They were all over my girls, all saying all these horrible things, and we won that match. And afterwards I went on to tell how proud I was for ignoring what these kids were saying, and they looked at me and they go, "Coach, what? We didn't hear anything." So, you know, maybe they don't hear it. I was just really proud that they had, you know, tunneled into the game and were super focused. So who knows what they're hearing.
Sort of a haters gonna hate sort of atmosphere there.
Yeah, it's like I was never so proud. Here I am seeing them and seeing everybody yelling at them, and the girls didn't even notice.
As there's some fantastic defense there from Pierce. Foster able to clear it, set by Russell on the outside. A good block up front by Hilliard.
You know, I'm really impressed with the way this Pierce team is playing. We knew they were good, but to be able to handle this pressure and come on, and they're playing so together, and I really am happy for Greg and his squad. I know he's worked really hard to get this particular group of girls. He's done a great job.
Well, that he has. The host school, again, has not been in the semifinal, at least as long as I've been broadcasting out here for the Northwestern Athletic Conference, and they've just been a force to be reckoned with from the other side of the bracket. The first time these two teams are meeting as the bracket is starting to come to a close. Only 4 teams remaining, as the error there by Seitz will give a 3-point lead back to Spokane.
Well, you know, it's just nice to see them having fun. You know, pressure is on Spokane. It hasn't come easy. I mean, to have that undefeated season, that's just unheard of. You know, we go back to Terry McLaughlin at Chemeketa when he had his 50-0 season. It's just amazing. That's not unheard of. And for Jenna to be at 35, 36, 37 wins, no losses, that's a huge amount of pressure. And that was coupled with, you know, not many people knew this, but she fell about a month and a half ago and broke her jaw.
Oh, wow.
And she had to have her jaw wired shut for over a month of this last season. She just got those wires cut right before this tournament. So she's sore in the mouth, and she hasn't been able to talk much. And for this team to respond and come through that still unblemished is something for the team and for herself and what she's established there at Spokane.
Well, having been part of an undefeated sports team before, I know it always feels like there's a target on your back. Everybody wants to beat you. Everyone wants to be the first ones.
Right. A lot of pressure.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of pressure.
And
especially, most of them are freshmen. You know, you have a lot of freshmen out there. The triplets and the twins are freshmen. How well can they handle this? And they've done an amazing job. So we'll see if it pans out here.
12-10 as Smith serve, clearing the net. Gallagher and now Russell. They go outside again and right in front of Foster. So picking no man's land right there in the middle of that U setup. 13-10.
That was just a let up in the defense. An easy cross-court hit. We blocked a little bit too much line on that last shot.
They go outside toward Burdick, and Burdick finds it. So turnabout's fair play, it seems, as that one was just out of the reach of the defenseman Straw.
Inside, just high outside the block, or inside the block, deep corner, excellent shot.
And now Carly Lewis to serve for the Raiders.
Nice serve.
Straw waiting for it. They go outside, and Lewis again. And now hit over by York. Beautifully taken care of, but out of bounds. A little too much off the hands that time, and it looked to be off the hands of Rayner.
Pierce is really changing tempo quite often, and it's keeping Spokane on their toes for what's coming next. It's going to be hard. Is it going to be light? Is it going to be deep? Is it going to be short? Pierce doing an excellent job of mixing it up. A little surprise of their own from Spokane. That's usually what happens. When somebody mixes it up, the other team will try the same thing right back at you.
So you're referencing the serve. So how often would you tell your servers to change speeds of the serve and trying to throw the teams off?
Well, every server has their strengths. Every server has about 3 types of serves. Their first, their second, and their third, the types of serves. So, you know, if the one serve isn't working for them, they're going to change up and do another. So that's just a sign of a good server. They have options.
See service up and across, set up by Smith toward the outside. Here comes Peyton Foster, and wow.
Pierce going back to the line shot. It's been very effective for him.
Well, that has, when you have the weapons that can take care of those line shots, such as Hillier and Foster, I mean, it's like nuclear power
Yes.
in those right arms. As they go outside again, and off the block attempt of Foster that time, a point for Spokane. 15-13, still a very close set. Anybody's set here in the adolescence of it.
Yeah, that time they just were taking advantage of the shorter blockers. That's a smart play on Spokane.
And back to serve will be Sugg once more. Foster on the receiving end, set by Smith, and off the block, and you can credit that one to Goodall. And again, there's that weapon we were talking about at the end of set number one that we hadn't seen too much from. Looks like they're going to still minimize the use at the moment of Goodall. And back to serve is going to be Haley Williams. A little bit of a miss hit there, and right on the edge.
Wow.
Beautiful hit.
Right on target.
And headed back to serve for Spokane, Jordan Schaff. And the best service numbers coming from Lindsey Russell this year. Had 36 service aces, as well as the boundary marker can't be cleared by York. Back to a 3-point deficit for the Raiders.
Sometimes you just get a little bit anxious and try to do a little bit too much with something simple, and I think that's what happened on that last shot. She'll come back and make up for it right here. Yep.
And there it is. Look at that. We got the volleyball oracle sitting next to me in the radio booth. So, Oracle, I need to know where this next serve is going to go.
Okay, let's take a look. Well, I can see what the coach is saying. I better not say it out loud. Let's see if she does it. Yep.
Oh, boy.
It's going cross court.
Kathy's got the advantage. And it's set across. Nicely taken care of by Williams, and Seitz has to hit it across. And out of bounds it goes, and no touch from Pierce.
Like I said, so many times on that serve, the strategy, you can serve the person that made the mistake. Many times the teams keep it away from the libero, which is the one in the solid uniform, and they're trying to do that too. Usually they're the ones with the best passing skills, but sometimes you can serve the libero just to make them tired too. So there's all kinds of strategies.
Now in the middle again, great job by Foster. And not able to take care of it that time was Seitz.
That was a great up.
Well, that was a fantastic up. And now going back to serve again is going to be McKenna Russell. Foster now over to Smith. They try Burdick on the left side. Williams, Seitz, and now it's got to be hit across by Smith. And how about that? Joelle Moho taking care of it. Making this
I love to see Spokane sticking with that game plan. That's a good shot for them. They need to stick with it right now. They want to get back in this match.
And a service ace in the back for Russell, and that's going to force the hand of Greg Fennell. Another timeout will be taken, so away we step once more. Things heating up here in set number 2. We will be right back after a brief word from our sponsors.
I chose Centralia College because I really felt like school, academic-wise and soccer-wise, it would be a good fit for me. And then I come here and I play, and it's like the competition is crazy, and I don't think the label of community college means anything to the skill that people have. My name is Gabby, and I play soccer at Centralia College, and I go boldly.
I am strong.
I won't give up.
I put my heart into the game.
I learn from my mistakes.
Focus.
Determination.
Confidence. I trust my gut.
No limits.
Preparation.
Dedication.
Leadership.
I want to make my team and family proud.
Be an inspiration for other girls who like sports.
Join the movement.
And back to the action now, as Russell's going to be over toward Burdick, and Seitz is going to have to hit across, and way too much power off the hand of Seitz, so not exactly the way you want to start after taking a timeout like that.
Yeah, that's not the way you want to start.
And Russell back to serve again. One service ace under her belt so far. As Smith sets it, and here comes Burdick, and beautifully taken care of that time by the other Russell. And set across. And can't beat out the libero Seitz, and Burdick. And another good touch off the block. And finding the edge. No, it looks like it went out, but Pierce looking for a touch and not getting the call. And we have a final score of 2-0 in favor of the Highline Thunderbirds on court number 2. So they are going to be playing the loser of this contest right here approximately a half hour after the conclusion of this game. As Burdick sets it back across. Now a big set up front, and beautifully taken care of by Foster.
I tell you, this, yeah, Spokane had total control of that entire rally. That setter has done an amazing job of spreading out that offense, and her touch is unbelievable.
Well, we talked before about Lindsey Russell being arguably the best setter in the NWAC. Well, before we started this broadcasted game, as York from the outside ends up right in the hands of Russell, and now down the line, set point for Spokane.
She just gets her body around. She moves, and she does it so effortlessly, and her hands are up and ready for that set. Just got a quick release. It's just wonderful to watch.
Williams on the receiving end, over to Foster. Now Burdick on the left side, and that's going to be how set 2 comes to a conclusion. A score of 25-16.
Well, this is exactly what we had hoped for, Wes. I knew it was going to be tight.
Exactly. So, closing points on set 2 from you, Kathy.
Well, I think, like I said, Spokane made their adjustments. They stayed aggressive, and, they were able to get that ball up, and they closed their block a little bit better. I think that's probably the key, without panicking. Came back to their strength, remembered who they were, and took control again. Now we're back to actually a best 2 out of 3 set match right now.
Well, it is heating up here, 1 set apiece, as we continue our conquest here to crown a champion. And that champion will be crowned tomorrow, and we'll have those games for you live here on Court 1. But we'll be right back after this. Set 3 in just a few short minutes.
Red Lion Hotels Corporation is built to thrive. With innovative programming and in-the-know staff, our hotel brands offer guests great stays and a chance to immerse in local culture. Red Lion Hotels and Red Lion Inn and Suites are better than ever. For travelers who want to get lost and discover adventure, we open the door to the best local experiences. We have reinvented the loyalty program. Introducing Hello Rewards, the first recognition-based loyalty program that encourages members to go further, fly higher, travel better, with tailor-made rewards. And we're not stopping yet. Presenting Hotel RL, our newest hotel brand. Inspired by the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest, an uplifting, relaxed atmosphere, a staff that loves what they do. For adventurers at heart, Hotel RL will inspire an amazing journey. Our future has never been brighter. 3 strong brands, an expanding portfolio, industry-leading innovation with turnkey solutions, simple fee structures, areas of protection, continued support from day one. We make partnerships easy. Reach a new breed of traveler with RLHC.
Life is about moments. If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight.
You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings.
Do you have that real look in your eye that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question: did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself?
What you say, Quaid? See ya! Right at it, right at it. Oh! He's done it again!
So whatever you're gonna do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
So back now on court one, a 1-1 score, and right as we get back, the action resumes. So the ball is cleared, set by Smith, right up the middle. Here comes Hillier, trying a softer approach that time, and now Seitz.
Okay, this will be real interesting, Wes, because just like we thought, these two teams are both evenly matched. They've had 2 sets now to get their jitters under control. They came out even, 1 set each. It is basically now a 2 out of 3 set match as it boils down to. So they know each other's strategies. They know each other. It's really important that they stay aggressive. That, yeah, you'll see some changes of tempo, but you want to stay aggressive. You don't want to let up too much. You don't want to chip too much. You want to stay aggressive.
And again, over here on court one, semifinal matchup, Wes Tucker and Kathy Woods keeping you company. And Kathy, again, the winningest, most coach in NWAC volleyball history. Remember, we talked during the commercial break. You won your first championship the year I was born, back in 1996.
We weren't going to say that out loud.
Oh. I understand.
I remember it like yesterday.
Oh, do you?
Yep.
And who would you take down in that championship?
Spokane.
It was Spokane. Wow, okay.
Yeah,
maybe that's why we weren't supposed to talk about it.
Yeah, maybe. You know, yesterday the MVP was came and because her daughter was playing in Benton, and she was the MVP of the '96 on the championship team. It was so nice to get together, and that's what it's all about, Wes. It's all about relationships, and we get caught up in that. But man, it was a special day to be able to sit down and talk with her and watch her daughter play for Lynn Benton.
As they go outside, Spokane off the block of Hillier is going to collect the point, 3-2. So, as we predicted, back and forth yet again to start things off. So, who do you think pulls away first here in set 3?
It just depends on how Spokane dealt with and what they talked about in the break. I think the pressure's off a little bit more. I think they have the momentum going a little bit. So, I think Spokane might step out. But I don't want to take Pierce out of this at all because they are a strong team. And I just don't know. I think they have the ability to come back strong. So we'll see.
Put back across by Goodall. Go outside. Seitz waiting for it. Smith in the middle. Here comes Hillier.
Oh.
Boy, and up front.
She is so aggressive. I remember watching her, and you know, in the middle, she is such a dominant blocker. She just has her hands up. And she has the attitude of a blocker. She wants to block every single ball that's coming across that net, no matter where she's at.
As Pierce comes away and ties it up here. So again, as a blocker up there, you know you're going to be dealing with the ball absolutely smoked at you. Do you get a chance to even see it, or is it all going to be luck of the draw when it comes to blocking?
Well, it's a lot of reading on the block, a lot of reading of where the ball's coming from, the angle and approach of the hitter. And you just got to get in front of that head and shoulder. So you got to have a lot of movement on blocking. And so many times we're watching the ball instead of the hitter. And you know the ball does nothing on its own. So you got to be knowing where that hitter is and where they're going to go. Get in front of it.
So Sugg back to serve now for Spokane. A 5-4 lead for the Squatch. As now set up. Here's a good one from York.
Wow.
And right there.
She has an arm on her.
Yeah, the person who would have been on the receiving end down a little bit. Do you think she was at fault for not being a little higher up when the hit happened?
Well, it looked different because she's a left-handed hitter. And I
Oh.
think that's kind of what threw us on that. Threw off the block.
And great work up front that time. And it looks like it was Lindsey Russell who collected that point for Spokane. And back to serve now is Jordan Schaaf. Service is good. And it's going to be a point for Spokane. 7-5 now in their favor. Schaaf once again on the serve, and there's going to be a service error right into the net. So we'll see if Pierce can capitalize and take some momentum from that service error, as Peyton Foster will head back and do the serving for the Raiders. Service is up and good toward the right corner, and nicely taken care of this time by McKenna Rutter. And wouldn't you know it, it's going to be McKenna doing the serving next. Williams on receiving end, Smith, and here's York. And how about the work up front by York after the big hit? There's a little awkward pass out of bounds. Now Smith toward the left side. Here's Hillier. And now Burdick. Some good positioning there. Nice. And now Burdick again.
Nice turnaround set. You know, that's really hard to take that ball from behind you, turn around, square to target, and set that ball exactly where you want to go. That was an excellent set.
We've got ourselves a tie ball game here as the serve from Sights clear, set by Russell right over.
Oh, there you go.
It's not always pass, set, kill now, is it?
No, that's a real awareness of that setter, knowing where the blocker was and when you could go up and just dump that ball.
Set Smith outside, Burdick, and Foster able to get it off the block. Burdick not able to clear it that time. So how much harder is it to come away with a good hit off of a pass rather than a set?
It's a lot with timing, and then usually with the pass there's more spin, which is always more difficult to hit. So yeah, the set is a much easier ball to hit.
As Science is just able to keep it in play, but it's going to go backwards. So 11-8 now, the score in favor of Spokane. Boy, over under, how many players over the next 2 days are going to hit that Baden volleyball? I don't know why it's on my mind.
You know, if a ball went out, you know, I think they just run right into it. It's so soft.
Looks like a giant airbag back.
It's awesome. It's awesome. You see a lot of those in outdoor tournaments as well.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just nice for Baden to be here. We like their support, so yeah, let them have it.
Definitely. I mean, you see stuff like that in a convention center all the time.
Yeah.
Of course, you usually see a bunch of Baden merchandise underneath it as well. This time it's just a little NWAC table to try to keep people away from it, it looks like.
Yeah.
But now in the 11-10 score, and back to serve Hattie Smith. Gallagher waits for it right on the edge of the blue. And dug out by Sights, but way out of bounds it goes. (12-10). Still anybody's set here as we enter the adolescence of it. And up and over it goes. Sights waiting for it, and now up for Burdick. And just out.
Yeah, again, that's a hard shot right there, because you shorten the court by 10 feet to get that shot. The net still stays the same height, so that's a tough shot.
Now the set toward the center, and a little miss there for Hillier.
Miscommunication on that one. She thought she was coming in for one, then stopped and set a little bit high for her, so it threw her timing off. That doesn't happen too often.
And again, we will award the NWAC trophy tomorrow, but I know you're excited for this. Those All-Star games that are set to go. I know those are your favorite ones over here. Means you get a little break from being on air, don't you?
Yeah, no, you just sit back and relax, pressure's off, and let those sophomores showcase their ability. There's a lot of sophomores coming up for that showcase. We're looking forward to that.
All right, and on that note, a timeout taken by the Raiders. Away we shall step, but don't you go anywhere. We will be right back after a brief word from... And we are back after a little technical difficulty and a timeout to be taken. So what an opportune time for us to come right back. So we'll go ahead. Kathy, we saw some good volleyball, even though we weren't able to talk about it. So would you go ahead and recap what we just saw?
Oh, my goodness. It's too bad that that truck crashed, but Spokane has been on fire. Their right side hitter has been getting kill after kill, and now they have a 19-11 lead. What Pierce needs to do is just stay aggressive, not let it worry them. They're still in this game. You know, they can rebound, and they need to do it right now, though. So that's an excellent timeout, but Spokane has on fire offensively.
And what have we seen from Pierce? What's been falling apart defensively for the Raiders?
You know, I don't know if that they've really fallen apart defensively. They're just unable to stop Spokane. So, you know, you can't think of that as an error on Pierce. You just got to pick it up. You got to make adjustments. You got to change. You got to move that block just ever so slightly to put pressure on that hitter to stop it. Expect a change in momentum because we got so many kills, and stay on your toes and not let up.
All right, we're just about ready to resume things here. 19-11 is the score right now at the moment, and Spokane with the serve. Waiting for it is Lewis, and badly mishandled, making it 20-11. Again, a big thank you to those who hung with us through our technical difficulty there. And a service ace for the squash.
Spokane just has everything going. That ball is just dropping. Of course, we're at the perfect angle. We can see the float and the drop. And this serve is just kind of unpassable. They need to move up, take a step up, because it seems to be dropping short. Good. They at least got it over the net. Here we go.
And
there's that block we've been looking for Pierce.
Here comes Foster. And out to the outside they go once more. Waiting for it is Seitz. And just set across, and now bounce off the touch.
Excellent shot by Pierce. Way to be smart. That right side is really working hard for Spokane. So, you know, they went right back to her to wear her out, throw her off. If she takes the first contact, she's going to have to move that much more to get the third contact. So that was smart for Pierce.
Now off the serve, and just saved from going out of bounds by Russell. Got a little touch there from York. Hit back across. Now set by Russell to the outside. And how about the power there of Rayner?
Pierce has to anticipate that. They got to know that they're hitting from the right now. They got to close that block and maybe give up something else from the other side.
So 22-12 the score, a comfortable 10-point lead for Spokane. And service is up and good. Waiting for it, Lewis, now set by Smith. They got a Peyton Foster. And Foster again up the block, collects the point.
Smart, controlled play, going back to what made them successful in the first set. They need to do more of that.
And that means it's going to be Haley Williams going back to do the serving next. Service is up and good. Set to the left side. And way out of bounds off the hand of Seitz.
Spokane just has so much offensive threat, but don't give up on this Pierce team. They've come a long way this time. They've had a lot of competition. They can do this. They just need to regroup.
Well, the question I got for you, is it going to be in this set? At what point do you say, okay, we've lost this one, let's regroup and focus on set number 4?
Well, it's going to be difficult, but, you know, it's a 3 out of 5 set match. So you want to go at it like you're going to win it, but if you can get some momentum back and get them guessing again, you'll be all set for that 4th set and be glad that there's a 5th.
So another point won by Pierce, 23-14, still a 9-point deficit for the Raiders. And it's going to be Peyton Foster back to do the serving. Gallagher waiting for it, and now they go outside, and hitting the boundary marker that time is Straw. So 25-15, so we'll see if they can carry this momentum a little further on the Pierce side.
Yeah, that's what they want to do. Jenny made a quick adjustment, a little bit of a change, a different thing to look at right here.
And now Hattie Smith toward the middle, and there's York!
Pierce keeps this up. Jenny might be taking a timeout here pretty soon just to stop that momentum so she still has it heading into the fourth. I've seen teams come back.
Oh,
that's
definitely.
a smart call. Smart call by Jenny. I've seen teams come back from this deficit before.
So we'll take a short break, but don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
I chose Centralia College because I really felt like school, academic-wise and soccer-wise, it would be a good fit for me. And then I come here and I play, and it's like the competition is crazy, and I don't think the label of community college means anything to the skill that people have. My name is Gabby, and I play soccer at Centralia College, and I go boldly.
WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC.
So 23-16 here on court number 1. The Raiders on an impressive little run here, and it's going to be Foster to serve once more. Waiting for it is Straw. Now Russell on the set, and here comes McKenna Russell. They go now to Burdick. And in the middle again, York collects the point right after the timeout.
That's excellent. You know, anytime you take a timeout and you can get that next point, that's a victory for you.
And now the next serve over from Foster. Set again, Russell. They go outside. Foster waits for it, and it clears the net again. And Seitz.
You know, Pierce is really picking up their defense right now. They feel that momentum changing. They know they still into this match. They didn't come here to lose, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely not. And York again. Very competitive play here. Again, Pierce with a big opportunity. Burdick! (23-18) the score, and what a run this has been for the Raiders. Service is up and good. Russell, and another quality block up front. Big opportunity again for Pierce. They go to Burdick once more, and it's set backwards. Gallagher able to get to it. It has to be hit across by Russell. And here's York. And Foster has hit it across, so possibly a good shift here for the Spokane team, and there it is.
Quick release on that set, throwing the timing off for the defense for Pierce.
Boy, Pierce was in control up until that arid set, too. So set point number 1 for Spokane. So the service from Russell is good. Foster, and now they go outside. Here's York, and out of bounds it goes.
Yeah, momentum is definitely right now in Pierce's favor. I'm not sure about this set, but you know, we'll see. And I've seen it happen.
Well, they go outside yet again, and good block up front by Hillier, and looks like they're going to get her for touching it twice.
Got him off guard. Okay, so, but the last several points have gone to Pierce, and that's what I would tell my team right there. I'm sure Greg's telling them, hey, momentum's going our way. We get this set forward, then we still have momentum going into the 5th, and that's a very dangerous situation to be in.
Very dangerous
Spokane.
Indeed. So we will step away again, but don't go anywhere. We've got a lot more volleyball to play when we come back after a quick word from our sponsor.
Red Lion Hotels Corporation is built to thrive. With innovative programming and in-the-know staff, our hotel brands offer guests great stays and a chance to immerse in local culture. Red Lion Hotels and Red Lion Inn and Suites are better than ever. For travelers who want to get lost and discover adventure, we open the door to the best local experiences. We have reinvented the loyalty program. Introducing Hello Rewards, the first recognition-based loyalty program that encourages members to go further, fly higher, travel better, with tailor-made rewards. And we're not stopping yet. Presenting Hotel RL, our newest hotel brand. Inspired by the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest, an uplifting, relaxed atmosphere, a staff that loves what they do. For adventurers at heart, Hotel RL will inspire an amazing journey. Our future has never been brighter. 3 strong brands, an expanding portfolio, industry-leading innovation with turnkey solutions, simple fee structures, areas of protection, continued support from day one. We make partnerships easy. Reach a new breed of traveler with RLHC.
Training is definitely making myself better, but I know that it's going to end up making my teammates better.
You have to know your teammate and know what they need.
The cohesion on the field and off the field is what makes everyone strong.
Being on a team, you know it's not just you out there.
I would do anything for the player next to me, behind me, in front of me.
Practicing day in and day out, trying to be the best me so they can be the best them. It's like a sisterhood that you have with those girls.
It's just really empowering. They're all doing crazy things. And you want to be like them and you want to push yourself like them.
Motivates me to work harder, to get faster, quicker.
Pushing each other so hard, all for the same goal. And then when you accomplish it, that's the best feeling in the world.
Once you tap into that, I think you're unstoppable.
Back now in set number 4 as Hillier comes away with the easy point to start things off. Kathy Wood, unfortunately, not able to continue on this broadcast. So you guys are stuck with just me the rest of this matchup. Again, Wes Tucker here keeping you company on court number 1 as it's set up on the outside for Straw, and right on the edge it is. So a 1-1 score. And Pierce collecting the first point. Pierce definitely having the momentum coming into this 4th set. We'll see if they can continue that. So it looks like they're going to start off by trading back and forth once more. Waiting for it is Foster, and there's a little miss hit from Foster, giving Spokane a 2-1 advantage. Then we will have Kathy Wood back for the championship broadcast tomorrow. So the serve is up and good. Waiting for now the opposite end. There's Straw with the kill. So 3-1 in favor of the Spokane Sasquatch. They lead 2-1. Now serve across. Foster waiting for it. Set by Smith, and here's Hillier. Off the block, getting another point for the Raiders. In a very dynamic game thus far. And Lewis to serve now for Pierce. Outside it goes, and waiting for it is Seitz. Up to the right side and put over by Goodall. And Hillier again gets a piece of it up front, and there's Foster. And again dug out by Lewis. Beautiful job, and it looks like it was touched twice by Hattie Smith. So 4-2 now in favor of Spokane. Pierce going to need to force that 5th and deciding set if they want to punch their ticket to the championship game tomorrow. And now the serve is up and over the net. Lewis, and now outside set. Here's Peyton Foster, and that one is passed backwards. Able to save it, however, Gallagher. And trying to hit that back corner was Smith, but to no avail. And right into the net it goes, making this a 4-3 game in favor of Pierce. And championship game tomorrow, as well as All-Star games. All-Star games will not be broadcast. However, you may catch the championship game starting at 2 p.m. And that's going to be right here on court 1 as Pierce comes back and ties this game 4-4. And darn near a service ace for Hillier now as Foster up front the block. Five to 4. Pierce with their first lead since set number 1. Outside set, and again, beautiful work up front by York. Outside set. And over it goes. Going to Foster, and instead it's going to be touched twice yet again by Hattie Smith. So 5-5 the score. We'll have one more broadcasted game, and that's the other semifinal matchup. The losers of this contest will take on the Highline Thunderbirds. And back it goes. Service ace for the Squatch. Six to 5 is the score, and here comes the serve well across by Sugg, and Foster is blocked up front, nearly put down by Russell, and just able to keep it up is Smith. Here's Foster, but blocked again by Russell. Seven to 5 is the score. Again, the All-Star games will not be given play-by-play. However, we will stream them, I am to understand. And right on the edge it is. 7 to 6. Pierce trying to force that fifth and deciding set. And only 11 set losses on the entire year for the Spokane Sasquatch. And there's another good block up front. And Seitz gets her hand on that one. And Lewis tripped up before the bench, making it 8-6 the score. So Jordan Schaaf, the freshman out of Spokane, Washington. All set, and now the setup at the net outside, and look at York. Teams trading points back and forth here in set number 4. And each team fighting for that first championship spot. But in looking at the talent we've had this year, I'm saying that a rematch of this game is going to be our championship, as it's dug out by Williams, outside set, and now a player down, and that is Burdick over by the official stand. And it looks like she is grabbing the calf area, possible cramp. So we'll give her a little bit of space, and we'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors.
Life is about moments. If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight.
You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings.
Do you have that real look in your eye that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question: did I give everything I got?
So again, another little set of technical difficulties for us, but now an 11-8 score in favor of the Spokane Sasquatch. And apologies for everybody watching at home as we get our scoreboard updated here. Again, 2-1 is the score in favor of the Community College of Spokane. Pierce College carried the momentum from set 3 into this fourth set, and yet have been falling behind steadily but slowly. Again, 1 or 2 points here and there. So we welcome you back in. Again, Wes Tucker here keeping you company on court number 1, the third broadcasted game of today. We'll have one more for you, and that is the B bracket semifinal to see who will come back to face the winner of this game in the championship. That will take place on this court 2 p.m. tomorrow. And back to the serving now for Spokane is going to be Russell. It's going to be McKenna Russell, to be more specific. Again, part of the set of triplets onto this team. And then you've got the Edwards twins as well. All of them very fine players. Go outside, and good block up front by Hattie Smith. So 11-9 the score, and coming back to the serving now will be Kenzie Seitz, the libero for the host Raiders. Set outside and well taken care of again. They set to the right, and here is Hillier. 11-10 as we are close yet again. 2-1, 11-10 the score, and the serve just clearing from Seitz. And Hillier up front, 4 touches on the side of Spokane. We're knotted up at 11 apiece. And Kathy Woods, before she left, said, do not count this Pierce team out, and there's no reason to be doing so. They are playing as well as they have in this game right now as they take the lead. 12-11. And championship tomorrow at 2 p.m. here on court number 1. All-Star games will happen before then. And then the second championship game, if necessary, approximately a half hour after the conclusion of the first. Again, if the team from the A bracket drops that first game, we got to play a decider. The serve is up and across, and a service ace for the Squatch. 13-12 the score, and back to serve again is McKenna Russell. Just clearing the net, Hillier able to keep it up, and now Foster from the outside. And down it goes, Spokane pulls ahead 14-12. And with a win here, Spokane will advance to the championship game. Serve up and across. Here comes Hillier for Pierce. Handled nicely in the back. And down it goes again. 15-12. And Pierce going to have to get their stuff in line quick. Because once this Spokane team has a lead, it's insanely difficult to come back. Outside again. And Hillier with the kill. And Jocelyn Hillier, truly a force to be reckoned with up front. Service up and over, courtesy of Smith. Hillier up front again. And now they go to York. Here comes Straw. And now the outside set again for York, trying to go the softer approach. Does not do so successfully as Gallagher waits for it. And now the set by Smith again. Here's Hillier. (15-14) as the back and forth continues. And service up and way out of bounds. Can still anybody set here in set 4. And service is up and good. And hitting the boundary marker is Hattie Smith. (17-14) as the margin continues to widen for Spokane. Bad pass backwards, has to be hit over by Foster. Gallagher waits for it, set by Russell and taken care of by Mohawk. Well, correction there on the board, apologies. 18-14 the score. And a lobbing serve and kept up nicely. Here comes Hillier, just outside. 19-14. And timeout taken by the Raiders. So away we step again. We'll be right back after another brief word from our sponsors. And we rejoin the action again. A big thanks to those who are continuing to stick with us through our technical difficulties. 21-18 is the score right now in favor of Spokane as the ball set up, and now 22-18. It has been a hard-fought game all game long. And now 22-18 the score, and it's going to be Sugg to do the serving. Across it goes, waiting for it is Lewis, set up now Smith outside, here comes Foster off the block. 22-19 is our score. And back to serve now is Williams. The margin for error continues to shrink. Set up outside, and Russell able to be kept up by Sykes. And put over by Russell, match point. No correction, one away from match point, 23-19. A little ahead of myself here. And service is up and over in the arm of Williams. Set up the outside, here comes Foster. And now another high ball waiting for it, Williams, and Foster once more puts it across. And there it is, match point Spokane, one away from a trip to the championship game. So on match point, service is up. Lewis outside they go, and dug out again. And Foster back across and set over, and that's it. Spokane has punched their ticket to the championship game. 25-19 and a final score of 3-1. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Coverage continues here on court number 1.
4:30 schedule time. And Spokane moves on to take on the winner of Houston Highline tomorrow at 2 p.m. on court 1.
am back at the 2018 NWAC Volleyball Championship. New friend down there, Alicia Straw. How you doing down there?
Pretty good.
Doing great, and that's a hard-fought game. And we know you guys coming in here undefeated, the juggernaut, going down 1-0. What was said between the first set and the second?
I mean, we know how to fight. We've been stuck in the same situation, going 5 matches, and we just stayed composed, fought, and kept our energy.
So you gotten a chance to see both Highline and Pierce, the two teams that are going to be playing here on court number 2. So who do you think is going to rise above the B bracket and come back for the championship Sunday?
I mean, whoever's loudest. They're both great teams. Whoever stays composed and whoever comes out strong is going to get it.
All right, and one last question. Spokane's going to the championship. How is the team feeling right now?
Pretty good.
All right,
Pretty
glad
awesome.
to hear it. Short and quick to the point. Big thank you to Alicia. And don't you go anywhere. We got one more broadcast game for you in about an hour. Until then, on behalf of the entire NWAC, I am Wes Tucker, and we'll see you in just a little bit.